As you can see, the sun is up, which is nice. It's warming up a little bit. I'm back out here. This is Saturday morning, February 3rd. So what I've done so far is I got this seat back in. This seat I believe was reupholstered at the time the engine was rebuilt, the transmission was rebuilt, and which supposedly is only 400 miles ago, but about 2.5, 3 years this thing sat. And as you can see right here, the sun has done its work and, you know, cracked the material that's on the seat. But overall, it looks pretty good, and overall, you know, it's pretty pliant and everything. As you can see, I got to replace these seat belts. They're just nasty, but they'll work for today. So I've fired up my compressor, and the next thing I'm going to do is air up these tires and put all 4 tires back on and get the truck back on the ground. So I will come back and show you that when I've got it done. Thanks. Okay, it's a little bit later in the morning, and I now have all 4 tires on. They are snugged up, but I have to get it on the ground and tighten them all the way up. And then I will begin my pilgrimage. I'm going to walk over to the storage unit and get another of my vehicles, and on the way home I will get a 5-gallon gas can, an 1157 bulb, and come back and put the gas in and put the bulb in and try to start it. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Remember yesterday when we had this headlight was good and this one was dim? It's hard to see it right now in the daylight, but I got it fixed, the one on the passenger side. It was a ground wire that had been eaten through by a pack rat, and I trimmed off the old wire and made an extension for it and grounded it, and so now that works. So, gosh, I don't even know what time it is, but it's probably 10 o'clock or something like that. I'm getting ready to head over to the storage unit. It's about a 2-mile walk, and pick up a vehicle and stop by and get a bulb for this signal light here that's hanging down. And I got to get something else. I don't remember what it is. I'll have to think of that before I go. But anyway, the lights are working, and I'm headed for the storage units. Thanks for watching. It seems I left for the storage unit at about 20 till 11. So I got over there, got my sexy 1997 Chevy Tahoe that I love with 51,000 original miles on it. And I stopped by the hardware store. I got a signal bulb. I got a hose and nozzle I need for something different, and I got a 5-gallon gas can. Then I went over to the gas station and got 5 gallons of gas. So I'm just getting ready to get the gas out of the truck here. There's the gas right there. I'm going to go put a funnel in the truck and pour it in, double check things one more time, put the battery cable on, and we're going to try to fire this thing up. So stand by. Okay guys, I'm going to dribble just a little bit of gas in the carburetor. Just a little. And now I'm going to go try to start it. Let's see what happens. Honest to God, this is the first time I've tried to start it since I got home and put all the fuel and everything in. So here we go. Let's see, make sure I'm in neutral. Okay, I'm in neutral. Here we go. Are you kidding me? It's running. Oh, I think it ran out of gas. Let's try it again. I'll put just a little more gas into there and see what happens. Hang on. Okay guys, new issue. We're leaking gas. You can see it down there and there's a puddle of it here. We're leaking gas somewhere, and I may have to get my wife home or Carl to come back and so we can see where it's squirting out, so we can fix it. It's kind of hard to look in here and be at the key at the same time. So anyway, that's it for the moment. Okay, it's running now. It's processing some rat nest material that was, I don't know, inside the bell housing or something. Take a look down here. See all that stuff coming out the bottom? That was, and I see a little bit of smoke, but that's not uncommon as, you know, things wake up for the first time in a long time. There was a screw loose up here on top of the carburetor. I think that's where all the fuel was coming from. You can see it's all dry now. It was very wet. So I'm going to pick up my tools here and try to put this thing in gear and see if it'll move and stop, and I'll let you know. Okay, just got back from a little drive. Pulls severely to the right when you step on the brake. I think that is probably either an adjustment or because I think the brakes on the left are wet with brake fluid. That's my guess. I also think I'm going to have to put a thermostat in. After sitting so long, it's probably stuck. The gauge shows that it's pretty hot, but I'm not sure if the gauge is right. Fuel gauge obviously does not work. Let me open the door here. Sorry, hold on, I'm trying not to. There we go. It shows it's pretty warm right there. Oil pressure looks good. This gauge up here does not appear to work. The temperature gauge up here. The charging gauge does seem to work, but obviously the fuel doesn't. And around back here, it was smoking. See, you can see there's some smoke, mostly on the left bank. So I don't know if that'll clear up over time. Oh, a little bit out of the right too. So I don't know if it just needs to be driven and that'll clear up after stuff has been sitting in cylinders for so long. But I gave it a pretty good run through the gears and did pretty well, but I'm gonna have to deal with the brake issue and that heating issue. So I'm gonna shut it off for now, and that's it. Thanks for watching.